2 new projects that you don't know about. Okay. You've seen, and you can come and look at these examples, that you can get books off connections. You make a collection of modules, you generate a PDF file, and it's ready to print. Okay? Well, you still need to print it. Right? Printing's not that cheap. If you go to a coffee shop and you print a 280-page math, the FHSST book, it's 272 pages. If you go to a coffee shop and print that, it costs almost 300 Rand. Like, it's just one copy, not fancy binding, no color cover, nothing like that. That's because you're only printing one copy. It's very expensive. The more copies that you print, the cheaper something is, right? The more you buy of something, you get bulk discounts, economies of scale. The more, the cheaper each one is. Okay? Open Press is a project just to worry about how you print resources so that you can put a real textbook on your learner's desk. Okay? So, the 272-page grade 10 maths textbook from FHSST project. If we print 5,000 copies with a color cover, thread binding, but black and white inside. That's about the same as what you get from the publishers. What does a publisher's grade 10 maths textbook cost? Somebody give me a number.
85.
Grade 10 maths, 285.
100 something.
It's over 100 Rand. Depending, there are some that are over 200 Rand.
Yes.
Okay. So we can print the FHSST book for 35 Rand. Okay. So now it's cheaper, right, than the publisher's books. You and teachers can work on it together, because you can go to Connections, get the whole book out, sit in a group, edit it, so that it's now your book, your name's on the front, and we can print them for 35 Rand. Same quality books that's going to be on the desk as the publishers are producing. Now that, I think, is empowering, right? You have control over the book, and the price, and exactly what the learners are learning. So that's what Open Press is going to be about. Open Press is going to be a website where you can take a PDF file from Connections, or a PDF file you made. Open Press is independent. It's only about, it's an open printing press service. And you put it up, and you say, I'm interested in printing this book, and this is how many copies I want. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. And Open Press will try to find as many other people that are interested in your book that you want to print. You may have written it, or somebody else could write it, that doesn't matter. And try to see what's the biggest order we can get. Then Open Press goes to a printer and says, what's the best price I can get? They do all of that legwork. They find out what the best price is. They come back to everyone who is interested and say, this is the best price. Are you really interested? Are you prepared to buy it at this best price? And if you are, you can get the books much cheaper. And the nice thing is, schools that can afford the expensive books can start the process, but it gets cheaper for everybody. So the rich subsidize through the process, making sure that everybody gets cost-effective textbooks. So it's really a great process. And so that's one of my other projects, is Open Press, to make sure you can put hard copy on desks next year. So Mike Charles was really excited about that yesterday. He was at our breakfast. I was a bit disappointed. He wasn't so excited about Siyavula, but he was really excited about printing textbooks. Okay? The other project is full marks.
You had a question over here about.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. I was on.
What are the publishers saying? I mean,
I don't really like talking to them.
yes. Obviously they get huge kickbacks from the department giving textbooks.
We don't give kickbacks. We don't give any kickbacks. We just open,
You just say,
transparent.
so maybe you won't find maybe a power struggle or
As there's more and more content that's freely available, you can only control a market when things are scarce. As soon as open stuff becomes abundant, they become a minority, and then their little control power struggle is irrelevant. And so we just keep working on the open stuff until there's more open stuff than closed stuff, and then the little power struggles around locking down the closed stuff are just not even relevant anymore. We invite the publishers always to come and talk to us about, we've got ideas for business models around open content. I mean, Open Press is a business model around open content. We've got lots of other ideas, but they're still not super key. We can't force them. Full marks. So this is the project I think that teachers like the most. It's an open, So you can add stuff and use stuff, and it's free assessment bank of items. Right? You can have a class list at full marks. Then you can rock up and say, I want a test on these assessments. It's not finished yet, so it'll only be available in January. You can say, I want a test with so many multiple choice questions, so many open-ended questions on these learning areas. Click a button, gives you the question paper and the memorandum. And you can go and use it. And if you come back and you enter the marks on the website, it'll tell you exactly which learners failing which assessment standard, or not achieving which assessment standard. You'll be able to do that. Oh, it's open. So we're going to try to get questions for all learning areas, for all grades. And you can leave comments on questions. We'd like to see teachers discussing, is this question really addressing this assessment standard, things like that. So that's what I'm doing going forward.